Caitlyn Clark got fouled more than any other new player in WNBA history. The older players picked on her like she took something from them. She learned fast that being famous in college didn't matter here. They wanted to hurt her spirit. Instead of giving up, she did something that shocked everyone. She made her body way stronger. When people saw what happened, they couldn't believe it. This is the tough story they don't want you to know. She was born on January 22, 2002 in Des Moines, Iowa. Her name was Caitlyn Elizabeth Clark. She was the middle kid with 3 children in her family. Being right between an older brother and a younger one made her who she was. From the start, everything was like a contest. At home in West Des Moines, she was always trying to keep up, to win, to show she was good. Her parents, Brent and Ann, had no idea the girl bouncing a basketball around the house would change sports history one. Caitlyn's dad played basketball and baseball in college. Her grandpa coached football. Sports were in her family. But Caitlyn wasn't just good at sports. She was crazy about winning. Even when she was 5, she could dribble like she'd been doing it forever. It didn't matter if it was homework or a board game. She always wanted to win. That fire never went away, and sometimes it got out of hand. She once threw her brother into a wall during a fight. His head got cut open. Their mom had to stop many fights like that. She wasn't just good at basketball. Actually, at first, basketball wasn't even her main sport. She scored 26 goals in just 6 soccer games in high school. Her coach thought she could play college soccer. She also played volleyball, tennis, softball, and golf. And she played piano. Caitlyn could have done anything. But basketball was louder than everything else. There wasn't a girls' team for her age when she started, so her dad put her on boys' teams. She had to fight just to play. That made her tougher. By 6th grade, she joined the All-Iowa Attack AAU team in Ames. That changed everything. She was only 13, but already playing against older girls. One coach remembered her making a step-back three-pointer and then throwing a pass that nobody touched, but went right, where it should. That same coach said, most kids would want ice cream after winning. Caitlyn didn't care about that. She just wanted to play harder and win more. That was when everything started. By the time she was a junior at Dowling Catholic High School, she shocked everyone. On February 4, 2019, Caitlyn scored 60 points in one game. She got 25 points in just the first quarter and made 13 three-pointers. That was the most in Iowa history. Even the kids cheering for the other team lined up to get her autograph after. She finished her junior year as the best scorer in the state, and the next year, she did it again. As a senior, she averaged 33.4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and almost 3 steals per game. Her total career points were 2,547. 4th best ever in Iowa. She also broke the record for most three-pointers made. On February 25, 2019, she scored 42 points in a triple overtime win during the state tournament. She led Dowling Catholic to a 19-4 record that season. She was named Miss Iowa Basketball, Gatorade Player of the Year, and All-Iowa Athlete of the Year. Her basketball career at that point was already amazing. Then came November 25, 2020. The stands were almost empty. COVID had kept the fans away. But it couldn't keep the spotlight away from an 18-year-old freshman named Caitlyn Clark. That night, inside Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena, something unforgettable happened. Caitlyn scored 27 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, gave 4 assists, and made 58% of her shots. She took over the game from the very first play. It was her first game, but she was already the best player on the court. Even her defense was amazing. 3 steals showed she could mess up plays just as easily as she could make them. Her teammates. That night, Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin, McKenna Warnock, Monica Chinano would go on to play in a national title game with her years later. But on that first night, it was clear Caitlyn Clark was the future of Iowa basketball. Just 4 weeks later, she did something even more special. On December 22nd, in a game against Western Illinois, she got her first career triple-double. She scored 13 points, grabbed 13 rebounds, and gave 10 assists. And she did it on a bad shooting night. making just 3 of 15 shots. But instead of giving up, she changed her plan. She focused on helping her teammates score, her final assist. The one that made the triple-double came from a smart pass to Logan Cook near the basket. This kind of game hadn't happened at Iowa since 2015 when Samantha Logic last got a triple-double. Coach Lisa Bluter knew what she was seeing was rare. She said triple-doubles were special and don't happen very often. Yet Caitlyn made it happen in her first month of college basketball. When people asked about it, Caitlyn said something even more impressive than her stats. "I wasn't shooting the ball well, so I just tried to get other people going. That's not how freshmen think. It's how leaders think." Then came February 11th. Caitlyn walked into Nebraska's home arena and left with the building's single-game scoring record. She scored 39 points with 10 rebounds and 7 assists. She made 12 of 18 shots. She was perfect from the free throw line. She did everything. She beat Nebraska in every way. And by the end of the game, she had scored over 600 points for the season. Only 4 other Iowa players in history had done that. But this wasn't just one hot night. Caitlyn was leading the whole country in scoring, and she was still just a freshman. No one in Division I had ever done that before. It's not one freshman, boy or girl. She was averaging 29.8 points before the Nebraska game. She wasn't just on fire, she was the fire. By the end of the season, she had changed the record books. She finished with 799 total points in 30 games, 26.6 points per game. No freshman had ever scored more in one season. It's not just at Iowa, in the whole country. She led all of Division I in scoring. She led in total points, in points per game, in shots made, in three-pointers made. She was second in assists per game. She wasn't just shooting threes. She was making them at a historic rate. She made 116 threes in 30 games. That's almost, for per game, that had never been done by a freshman. She had 12 games with at least 30 points. That hadn't happened since 2000. She also broke Iowa's freshman scoring record and finished with the 3rd highest single-season point total in the school's history. Only Megan Gustafson had scored more. And that was during her final years, not her first. She didn't just win Big Ten Freshman of the Year. She won everything. She won 23 Big Ten awards during the season. 13 times she was named Freshman of the Week. 5 times she was named Player of the Week, the first freshman in history to do that. She made the All-Big Ten first team, and not by accident. Every coach and reporter picked her. Nationally, she shared the Freshman of the Year award with UConn's Paige Buchers. That made her the first Hawkeye ever to be named National Freshman of the Year. She averaged 27.7 points and 6.6 assists per game in Big Ten play. She scored 30 or more in 9 conference games. And in 8 more, she scored over 20. Her play didn't just get headlines. It brought Iowa back into the national spotlight. The team reached the Big Ten tournament final and made it to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. It was their 8th Sweet 16 ever and their 3rd in 4 years. In 2021, during her sophomore year, Caitlyn Clark did something that no one in Division I women's basketball had ever done before. She led the whole country in both scoring and assists. She averaged 27 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds per game. Most players can't even lead in one thing. Clark led in 2 at the same time. That kind of balance was unheard of. Scorers were supposed to score. Passers were supposed to pass. But Caitlyn Clark ignored those rules. She did everything. What really shocked people wasn't just how many points she scored. It was how many assists she had while doing it. 8 assists per game while leading and scoring. That broke every old idea about basketball roles. Defenders focused everything on her. Double teams, triple teams didn't matter. She still made impossible passes, found teammates wide open, and set them up like it was nothing. Sometimes her passing was even more impressive than her scoring. She played like she had eyes in the back of her head. She made defenses guess, and they always guessed wrong. As her stats went up, so did the pressure. Other teams knew they couldn't stop her with normal defense, so they got rough. They pushed her, bumped her, pulled on her jersey. Some defenders pushed the limits of what was even legal, Coaches made entire game plans just to wear her down. Play after play, shot after shot. And yet she kept going. Every time they tried to knock her down, she came back harder. It wasn't just skill anymore. It was toughness. She had mental strength they couldn't break. And as all this was happening, something bigger started to build. Suddenly, people all over the country were watching Iowa basketball. Not just local fans, not just Big Ten supporters, everyone. TV ratings went up, news crews started flying in, games sold out. She didn't just lift her team, she lifted the whole sport. People watched because they wanted to see what she'd do next. And what she did never disappointed. By 2023, everything exploded. Iowa hadn't made the Final Four since 1993. That changed on March 26th, when Caitlyn Clark ended a 30-year drought. She didn't just lead, she dominated. She scored 191 points in the tournament. That's not a mistake. 191. She averaged over 30 a game, and it wasn't just her. Her teammates, McKenna Warnock, Monica Chinano, they all stepped up. Clark brought out the best in everyone, and when she made it to the Final Four, she wasn't done yet. Against Louisville in the Elite Eight, she got a 41-point triple-double. 41 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. That had never been done before. Not in men's or women's NCAA history. It was her 11th triple-double, but this one felt different. She made deep threes. She drove through crowds. She passed like a magician. She made it look easy. Even when 3 players guarded her, she found ways to dominate. The stat that really stuck: she scored or helped on 70 of Iowa's 97 points. And then came South Carolina, the defending champs, undefeated, 36-0. No one expected them to lose. But on March 31st, Clark shocked the world again. Another 41 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. She scored or helped on every single point in the fourth quarter. That game flipped the whole season upside down. South Carolina hadn't lost in 42 games, and then Clark happened. Her long threes, her smart cuts, her confidence. It left even the best defense in the country scrambling. On April 2nd, 2023, Caitlyn Clark stood just one game away from everything she had dreamed of since she was a child. The national championship, the ultimate prize. But what should have been the crowning moment of her legendary college career ended in heartbreak. Iowa lost to LSU 102-85. On paper, it looked like an easy win for LSU, but the truth was much harder to accept. Clark had fought through everything to get her team there. Just days before, she dropped back 41-point games to carry Iowa to the title game. In that final match, she made 8 three-pointers, breaking a championship record set in 1990. She scored 30 points, and it still wasn't enough. As the buzzer sounded, the look on her face said it all. She had done everything she could, but her dreams slipped away. Then came her senior year. If anyone thought that loss would slow her down, they were wrong. February 15th, 2024 was the night everything changed. Iowa faced Michigan, and Clark needed just 8 points to pass Kelsey Plum's all-time NCAA scoring record of 3,527. 2 minutes into the game, she made a deep three from way out. The crowd went wild. That shot made her the highest scorer in NCAA women's history. But she didn't stop there. She scored 49 points, the most ever in a game for Iowa. She also had 13 assists and 5 rebounds. She did it all in her 126th game, faster than Plum's 139. That night, she had 3,569 total points. She was now a legend, but she wasn't finished. On March 3rd, 2024, in a packed arena against Ohio State, Clark chased a record that had stood for 54 years. Pete Maravich had scored 3,667 points, the most in Division I history. Clark needed 17 more to pass him. Tickets were costing $598 on average. The whole country was watching. Late in the first half, she made a free throw. That single point made her the top scorer in NCAA basketball history. Boys or girls? She barely reacted. She didn't even know what she had done until the crowd erupted. By the end of the game, she had scored 35 points. It was official. Pete's record was gone. Caitlyn Clark now stood alone at the top. But what happened? Off the court might be just as unforgettable. Fox Sports did something that had never been done before. They created a live camera feed focused only on her, called the Caitlyn Cam. It streamed on TikTok and followed her every move on offense. This wasn't just sports. It was a cultural moment. Her game sold out across the country. TV ratings broke records. People who had never watched a women's game before were suddenly hooked. Deep threes, quick passes, that fierce look. She was magnetic. She wasn't just playing basketball. She was changing it. And just when it seemed she had done it all, she did something no one in history had ever done. In the Big Ten tournament final against Ohio State, she had what might be her most dominant performance. 30 points, 17 assists, 10 rebounds, a triple-double in the title game. The first ever in the history of the Big Ten championship. And this wasn't just any triple-double. No other player, boy or girl, had reached 30 points and 15 assists in a single game over the last 20 years. She did it with style, making 5 threes and shooting over 52% from the field. It was a masterclass, her 10th career triple-double. Only one woman in history had more. With all eyes now on her, she returned to the NCAA tournament. Everyone knew what was at stake. Iowa had never won a women's national title. Clark had come so close the year before. This was her last chance. She carried that weight into every game, and then the rematch everyone wanted happened. Iowa faced UConn in the Final Four. For the first 30 minutes, UConn locked her down. But in the fourth quarter, with the game tied, Clark took over. 7 points in 2.5 minutes. Iowa won 71-69. She scored 21. Her teammate Hannah Stuelk added 23. It was one of the best college games ever played. That win put Iowa back in the national championship. On April 15th, 2024, Caitlyn Clark was picked first overall by the Indiana Fever. It wasn't surprising. Everyone saw it coming. The impact was something no one could have predicted. Had already become the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history. She had broken records for both points and assists in a single season. Yet once she joined the WNBA, the pressure only grew. The hype around her exploded. She got more than 700,000 All-Star votes during her rookie season, the most ever. Her jersey became the best-selling in the league with sales up over 1,000%. Wherever she played, the crowds followed. Attendance jumped 88% in games she appeared in. They called it the Caitlyn Clark effect. The league had never seen anything like it. But the spotlight came with a cost. Her debut on May 14, 2024 didn't go as planned. She scored 20 points, but had 10 turnovers, more than any player in a WNBA debut. It wasn't nerves, it was war. Veteran. Players targeted her, determined to make her earn her place. In one game against Chicago, she got slammed by Chennedy Carter in an off-ball hit so aggressive, it was later called a flagrant foul. And that was just the beginning. She led the league in turnovers with 5.4 per game. By the end of the season, she had 225 turnovers, the most in WNBA history. She also missed 10 games with injuries. That was shocking. She had never missed a game due to injury in her entire Iowa career. Now, in just one professional season, her body was already breaking down. The league wasn't just faster. It was tougher, meaner, and more relentless than anything she'd seen before. Still, she refused to fold. She shattered records like it was her job. On August 18, 2024, she broke the rookie assist record, finishing with 337 assists. That wasn't just a rookie record. It was the highest total ever for any player in a WNBA season. She passed Ticha Penicaro's long-standing mark like it was nothing. Then came the points. She ended the season with 769 points, more than any rookie ever. She also made 122 three-pointers, breaking Ryan Howard's previous record. In one unforgettable game, she had 19 assists against the Dallas Wings. producing 66 total points between scoring and assists. That shattered the single-game record set by Diana Taurasi in 2006. And then there were the triple-doubles. On July 6, 2024, she became the first rookie in league history to record one. She had 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. Just 2 months later, she did it again with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. No rookie had ever done that before. By her second season, she had 3 career triple-doubles in just 41 games. That put her in a club with legends like Candace Parker and Sabrina C. By the end of the season, there was no debate. She won Rookie of the Year with 66 of 67 first-place votes. The only other vote went to Angel Reese. She also made the WNBA first team, something only 5 rookies had ever done since 2000. She led all rookies in points, assists, steals, and minutes. The numbers didn't lie. She wasn't just the best rookie. She was one of the best players in the league, period. Then came the awards. The Associated Press named her Rookie of the Year. Time magazine called her Athlete of the Year. In December 2024, her first playoff game drew 1.8 million viewers, the most since 2000. She didn't just play the game, she transformed it. But behind the scenes, there was another story. In April 2023, Caitlyn started dating Connor McCaffrey, son of Iowa's men's basketball coach. He played for Iowa too, then became a coach. Their relationship started quietly. For 4 months, no one knew. But in August 2023, Caitlyn posted a photo of the two on a boat. Just 3 words. Best end to summer. And everything changed. The internet went wild. Suddenly, Caitlyn wasn't just a superstar on the court. She was half of a basketball power couple. They kept things low-key. But in January 2025, Connor posted a birthday tribute for her 23rd. It read like a love letter. He called her inspiring, amazing, and said how lucky he was to be with her. Fans loved it. Caitlyn responded with a simple "love you" and shared the post herself. That moment told everyone this was real. Then came her birthday message to Connor in July 2025. It was short, but full of love. Happy, happy, happy birthday, Con. You make every day better. The next day, she led Indiana to a massive win. That's how she lived, balancing greatness and grace. Their careers were growing fast. Connor became an assistant coach at Butler. Caitlyn kept breaking records with the Fever. Somehow they stayed close through it all. It wasn't flashy, but it was strong. And through everything, Caitlyn had her family. Her father, Brent, was an athlete too. He played baseball and basketball in college. He coached Caitlyn when she was young and saw right away that she was different. Her mother, Anne, worked in marketing. She handled the pressure and helped guide Caitlyn through the business side of fame. Her brothers Blake and Colin pushed her during childhood. They made her tougher, sharper, and more competitive. Brent went to nearly every one of Caitlyn's games. She always looked up to find him in the crowd. When she won the Naismith Trophy and was named AP Player of the Year in March 2023, her mom called it amazing. The whole family was overwhelmed but proud. In October 2023, Caitlyn started the Caitlyn Clark Foundation. In just a few months, it raised over $100,000 for the Coralville Community Food Pantry. It also helped kids with sports, education, and nutrition. She hadn't even played a WNBA game yet, but she was already giving back. On March 7, 2025, during a Big Ten tournament game between Iowa and Ohio State, one photograph flipped the entire internet upside down. A sports photographer named Bree Luarkey snapped a shot of Caitlyn Clark cheering from the sidelines. She wasn't playing. She wasn't even mic'd up. She was simply rooting for her old team. But the image went viral fast. People weren't focused on her smile, they were staring at her arms. Something had changed. She looked stronger. The caption said, "Well, someone's been in the weight room." It didn't take long for the image to hit over 3.2 million views. Everyone had an opinion. Fans said, "She added 15 pounds of pure American muscle." One comment joked, "She looked like she could bench press her own coach." Even major sports figures jumped in. Dave Portnoy couldn't believe the transformation. Sports blogs turned it into a national debate, all from one simple photo. And the wildest part? Caitlyn hadn't even spoken about it. Just one quick flex during a cheer sent her name trending for weeks. She didn't post it. She didn't try to go viral. But the reaction was so intense that ESPN brought it up during major broadcasts. That's how loud the moment became. Nearly a month later, Caitlyn finally broke her silence. She appeared on ESPN's Bird and Taurasi show with WNBA legends Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Everyone watching wanted the same thing, an answer. Was it real? Was it filters? Did she suddenly turn into a bodybuilder? She smiled and joked. It was the camera angle? AI is getting out of control. Come on. It was a perfect deflection. Everyone laughed. But then she got serious. She admitted she'd been working out hard. Not just occasionally. She said, I'm trying to get stronger. It's something I kind of enjoy. So it's pretty easy for me to spend time in there and really work on that part of my game. And just like that, the mystery turned into admiration. It wasn't fake. It wasn't exaggerated. It was earned. But this wasn't just about looking different. It was about survival. Caitlyn's first WNBA season had been brutal. The physicality shocked her. Opponents didn't treat her like a rookie. They treated her like a threat. During her rookie run, she was fouled 111 times. That made her the most fouled rookie in the league and the 11th most fouled player overall. She averaged 4.2 fouls drawn per game. And many of those hits were rough on purpose and meant to send a message. One moment made things crystal clear. Chennedy Carter slammed into Clark with a shoulder shot that knocked her flat on the court. The refs called it off ball at first, but later changed it to a flagrant one. It was more than just a hard foul. It was a wake-up call. Caitlyn later said, everybody is physical with me. They get away with things that probably other people don't get away with. She wasn't whining. She was telling the truth. Being the face of women's basketball came with a target, and if she didn't adapt, it would hurt her game and her team. So Caitlyn changed everything. She teamed up with Sarah Kessler, the Indiana Fever's head athletic performance coach. The plan was intense. 4 to 5 days a week in the weight room. Not just lifting weights. This was a custom-designed program. Single-leg exercises to help her explode off the floor. Isometric training to help her stay balanced and grounded because she used to play too upright and would get knocked around. She even started doing single-arm exercises. Her left arm wasn't strong enough to make certain passes, so they fixed that. There's no shortcuts, just hard work. There was one part of the program that sparked even more controversy: creatine. Some fans didn't like it, some questioned it, but it's a natural compound. It helps muscles recover faster and grow stronger. And Clark was all in. She wasn't trying to impress social media. She was trying to survive the season. Coach Stephanie White later said in a podcast. She figured out right away that she needed to get stronger, and she did a great job focusing on that. What people saw in that viral photo was just the surface. Underneath was a story of pain, discipline, and pressure. Caitlyn Clark didn't transform because she wanted compliments. She transformed because she had to. Because she was tired of being pushed around. Because she was tired of fouls that didn't get called. Because she refused to be just. Another name in the headlines.